I swear, every week gets better and better with news, with AI news. Like this week's just been crazy. Like what?
Yeah,
Google
yeah,
I/O was just insane. That was just the latest. Like, I mean, what we got here? I mean, we started out with, well, we're going to go through Google Alpha, which is kind of interesting because it kind of puts into practice something we mentioned in the first episode. And I was like, Google have already done this thing. Copilot going open source, which that has
exactly.
its own thing. Google I/O, which is just banger after banger. LoveFrom and OpenAI getting together in that smooching.
That
Did you
was
watch the video?
insane.
Did
Yeah,
you watch the
I
video?
watched the video. Yeah, yeah.
It was a bit cringy. It was a bit like, what?
It
And
is.
they
It is.
like, and that
Like
photo
I
as
love
well.
like like yeah. It's like a sweet couple, but yeah,
And then Framer just dips in right at the end with their kind of AI announcements. So it's
yeah. I predicted it. I mean, it's very easy to predict
yeah,
and to
they're all
yeah,
going down the same
like
thing, right? Aren't
yeah,
they?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Workshop. So I'll show you. Well, I'll talk about that. Maybe we
Mm-hmm.
start with the biggest one, Google I/O.
What was the first thing? Uh, well, I mean, the beam thing, I mean, that's all well and good, but like Gemini Live, which I was playing with this morning, they haven't released, I think it's most of it's US only, which is really annoying. The kind of
Yeah.
where you can walk around and multimodal stuff. But I was using the chat thing this morning because the chat is up. Sorry, not yeah, the sort of speaking to it. I think you're gonna have a whale of a time with them. It's so much better than Chat GPTs. Have you seen it? Have you looked at it or
No, I
anything?
haven't used it, but I actually want to. So
Let me see if I
I'll
can.
give it
I
a
was.
try. If it's available in Europe, good. If not,
Oh yeah.
maybe a VPN does the job. I'm not sure.
You can go live and then go. I mean, you got to listen to like the sound effects, man. The sound effects, just
Oh,
really nice
that's
and clean.
yeah.
The problem I find with open AIs is that you make some slight noise and it will like stop talking and stop doing what it does. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whereas this
yeah.
one, it kind of understands. And do you know what's really weird? This is how I feel like sometimes they get sent. People feel like they're sentient. In fact, I'm going to read it, the conversation, but it was like it gave me insight into how it works.
So you just talk, you press it and you talk to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I just left it on,
what do
and I
you
was in
talk
and
to it
out.
about?
So I was trying to diagnose what was going on with my monitor, why it just wasn't working. But I was like, whilst I was doing something, I was just having a conversation with it. And I asked, when will you get camera support? Yes, camera support is definitely something we're working on. Again, this is all chatting to me through the interface. And I said, are you basically like a voice assistant but for text input, whatever? And it was like, yeah, you got it. Is there anything you can, here's where it gets sentient scary. Is there anything you can do that the text prompt can't? Well, for starters, I can understand your tone of voice, little pauses and changes in your speech. That helps me get to what you're really asking, even if the words aren't crystal clear. Plus, we can have a real back and forth, like a conversation, which can make things a lot smoother. I didn't know that you picked up on the pauses. How does my pauses help you understand what I really think? Yes, pauses can be really helpful sometimes. When people pause, it's because they're thinking about what they're going to say next. Maybe they're trying to find the right words. Makes sense. Other times, a pause might mean they're feeling a little unsure or hesitant about something. So it's like it's probably maybe disregarding things that you say before a pause because do you know what I mean? I'm just like, this is what
Yeah,
I'm chatting
that's
to it about.
crazy. All I'm thinking about is like we humans, we have evolved and we learned to basically get these like very subtle inputs, like to
Mm,
understand these very subtle changes, or like I don't know what is it called, like what should we call, like details in somebody's expression. So
yeah.
if it's facial expression, or is it like a pause in your tone, or like
Mm,
you just eyes talking to you. It's
Yeah.
insane to think that AI is getting there. It's crazy. It
Yeah.
will look you into the eyes and be like, "Come on, you're lying about this." Like,
Nah, yeah.
no,
If you
I'm
look off
not.
into the left, you must be lying. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
asked it, how can I use that in the real world? Because, I'm a cyborg. I don't understand. AI needs to teach me how to converse with people. Well, let's say you're practicing it for a presentation. You could read through it out loud, and I might pick up on places where you hesitate or sound a little unsure. You can practice a presentation with this thing. And I've got a friend who's doing a presentation today, actually. Oh, crap, I've missed the boat on that. It feels like every week we're on this roller coaster of like who we're supporting. Like, last week it was OpenAI, but then just Gemini is just so good. 2.5 Flash got released, or at least an updated version of 2.5 Flash, which is faster version. So 2.5, all the success, completed Pokemon Blue, which is quite crazy. Gemini Live. So this is what they were showing, and this is what I thought I had, and I was playing around with this morning, or wanted to.
That video, maybe you should play a piece of that video. She's
So she's
walking there and she's saying something like, "What is this thing?" Or like, "Why are these trees so small?" And they're like, "No, they're
random
not short."
questions, right?
Yeah.
Just to try and
Yeah.
trip it up.
Yeah, and it does pretty well.
I'm looking for the tease of 2.5 DeepMind or something like this, which is basically the speed of Flash with the sort of depth of Pro. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it, but there is a promised model that's soon to be, will be hopefully with us soon, but it's, again, the best of both worlds, just absolutely annihilating, because Flash is fast. Like, I use Flash all the time, actually, really fast. And then Pro is what I stick on, cursor and stuff like that. I don't know, whatever. There's a new model on its way and it's very exciting. What is this now? Because again, they just released so much on
this is a 3D component. They take basically some images and prompt the tool to create a 3D sphere out of these images.
But which tool is this though? Because they've released about 1 billion.
I don't know the name.
Google AI Studio. There we go. This isn't a new tool. I think they've just improved it. Oh, here we go. Gemini 2 Pro DeepThink. This is what I was talking about. So it's got the speed, and if we let this do its thing. Anyway, this is, again, the best of both worlds, which, we'll see that. Like, this is where my love for iPhone and Mac is slowly dwindling, but they beat Apple to the context-aware assistant. They beat them,
Yeah.
And this is going across your email. This is going across this and that, and this is what Apple are struggling, that have pushed back a year to get done.
Yeah, and they're not even close.
Soon. Yeah, not even close. Not even close. And they've just released it to a very capable standard, or at least what their demo was.
And this coming to XR is just like insane. I mean, it just makes sense. What you saw in this bike scene where the guy is repairing the bike, but also talking about he's jumping between tasks essentially, right?
Yeah.
And the model is very aware of the full context of all these different tasks. Just that with AR glasses, it's just insane.
Well, you notice as well, someone came into the room and I don't know whether it paused, but he said to the phone, like, continue what you were saying. It's just this real-time awareness, which the voice mode of ChatGPT, ChatGPT doesn't quite get right. And naturally it goes on to robotics as well. Like I was thinking about robotics all the way through this, thinking this is the next kind of step, it's all teed up for robotics. All of this stuff is what robotics needs, multimodal and all the rest of it. Jules as well, this was great. I made a little video on that. Oh my god, there's just so much.
Is Jules like vibe coding tool again, or no? Jules makes UI.
Jules, no. Jules is. By the way, I'm teeing up Stitch here because this should have been what you should have been looking into. But Jules is OpenAI's Codex or GitHub's Copilot coding assistant. where
Ah,
it just
okay.
links with your GitHub. It doesn't generate a project out of nothing. You need to watch my videos more. It doesn't generate
Yeah.
your project from scratch. It literally takes a project and is your little coding assistant. So I can go on my phone, say, hey, add this feature, add that feature. And whilst I might, and it doesn't necessarily just promote it to live, like you have to actually make the pull request into the main production branch and then promote it. It's nice because I could be like, the example I gave is like, oh, there's a new model released on whatever. I need to add that to Jupyter Chat. So then I just whack it in, get it, let it do its thing. I get home a little later on, double check the code, make sure it runs, deploy it. Little things like that are great. But this Stitch, describe your design. Have you looked into this? Have you done this at all?
No, honestly,
This
this
is
is what I
UI.
missed. Yeah.
This is vibe
Is
design.
this the one that they showed that they can like generate UI on the fly?
Food recipe. Do you know what? I noted this down in our notes, but I haven't looked into it. I haven't done it. I don't even know what I've just put in there. I'm just doing a fruity recipe app or
Let's
something.
see.
But this is vibe. This is vibe design now. All getting a bit silly. So there we go.
Cool.
So it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Oh, so you can open copy to Figma. Look. So I can edit this. I can do. So it's not groundbreaking, but I think that's a lot. To be honest, it's a lot cleaner than stuff that the vibe code. No. I mean, yes, but like what like Lovable are capable of and stuff like that. But this is static. It's a static design. There you go. You know, so this is something that could be something you do a video on. Vibe design, baby. Vibe design.
What's it called?
Flow. Oh, Flow. Yeah.
Flow is the tool and Vio is the model, right? Or something.
Yes,
no.
It's kind of confusing. Like Flow, kind of, you can compose a movie together. So audio, video, and stuff like that. Vio is the video engine tool that you can just completely use in isolation. So this is the problem with Google, is that they've just released so much stuff. It's so hard to keep track of. So I mean, this is the website. This is kind of like Flow is an AI filmmaking tool, but for creators. So you can make sequences of things put together, combining all of those things, saving as an ingredient. So it's put together zebras and here we go. There it is. Jellyfish and whatever. So you can upload images, compose them together, and it will just figure out.
And they had this for I believe, for the Google I/O intro as well. It's entirely AI generated, and it does look good. Especially this one, 10. It looks really good.
We'll leave it on that. So this is all? Yeah, I guess this is all AI generated. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's their obsession with?
And it goes from top to closer to.
I could literally. It's Copenhagen. I could literally stay up all night just making just stupid videos. Like, oh man,
like this.
Like this.
This is 2 years ago.
Oh my god!
And we were thinking
like
we thought that we'll never get there. But where are we now? Like, this is bonkers. This is like unbelievable. Look at his hands, the movement. Like,
so apparently OpenAI have bought Johnny. I mean, they bought Johnny's company IO for like 9.8 billion.
I'm not sure on the number, but I did see it. I'm not sure if it was like 6 billion or 9.
So this it's billions. I mean, all you need to know is billions. Yeah. So this has been rumored for a little while. I've been hearing about this for a little while, and immediately what comes to mind is the rabbit and the little pin that failed miserably. Loki, you still want a rabbit, but you know. And they even mentioned something along those lines in this discussion. They say something like about the limitation of needing to open your laptop and go to ChatGPT and whatever. They sort of simulate that laborious task of doing so. So that further made me think about the The idea that it could be something like this pin or rabbit or whatever.
Somebody mentioned this on Twitter. Interesting that you are freezing the video in this exact frame. Somebody posted this, like a screenshot of just like that, and said, you see the product. As of being like the glasses. Obviously, this is not the product, but I don't think that's too crazy to think. Like, I think having the glasses as the product would actually make sense.
And then Sam tweeted something.
This is like definitely very unexpected. I didn't think for a second that, you know, Johnny Ive, he left Apple. So maybe I also explained this because not everybody knows Johnny Ive. I asked one of my developers and I said, do you know Johnny Ive? And he was like, who the hell is Johnny Ive? It's like, how dare you? So Johnny Ive is the man behind the iPhone and the MacBooks, the guy at Apple, the design guy at Apple. Steve Jobs, I think, hired him, and he's been designing like legendary devices, probably one of the most influential designers ever. He left Apple. He started a new company to do designs, and I think they did work with Apple in the time as well. But now they got acquired by OpenAI, and because of that, Apple stock actually fell a few percentages because people bet obviously on Johnny Ive because he's such a, you know, big designer. Probably he's going to, I don't know, maybe make XR glasses. That's what I would love to see. I would die to see like XR glasses designed by Johnny Ive.
Thing is, we've got a chicken and egg situation here because obviously Johnny is a industrial designer, right? He's he's not tech, he's not software or anything like that. He's a
product, like industrial product designer.
So did they design a set of products with a theoretical operating system in mind, or did Sam look at those devices and say, we could stick AI in that, as every Silicon Valley founder is doing right now?
That's the question I asked, that what is worth this much money? 6 billion, right? 6-7 billion dollars.
Let's find out.
What is that they are selling? Is that the brand? Is that Johnny's soul? What is it that costs so much money? Because obviously I don't know any product by this company.
6.4 billion. The week started out really actually with the week before we spoke about zero data AI. AI developed from zero data. Then literally a day later, Google announced AlphaEvolve. Did you see this?
I think I saw a little bit about it. Is this like an AI that can get better?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need any training data. And we spoke about this as a paper last week. And it wasn't anything to do with Google. It wasn't anything, but then AlphaEvolve launch, and it is zero data. It sets itself its own parameters, its own success metrics, runs a bunch of tests, and then evolves independently. And this is, again, a key component to robotics here, is that it can self-learn, basically. And then we had VS Code becoming open source, or Microsoft's event. And they launched the Copilot, but that event was filled with so many, from a developer perspective, so many interesting launches across the stack, like on Azure and things like that. But what was interesting, and to bring it back to this discussion of, you know, Johnny and Sam, is in the Microsoft presentation, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, NVIDIA's CEO, they're all there. Not there, I mean, they're all on video call or whatever, but they're all there Microsoft being this key component sitting between them all, which was really cool to see. Did make me wonder, because obviously GitHub became open source, which then begged the question is like, why did OpenAI spend 3 billion on windsurf when a week later the infrastructure around Copilot gets released for free? I mean, it's an unknown timeline and they need to move fast here, but it's cool to see that there is a support or a kind of network of these people kind of working together. I don't know whether they've all got like a little knife in each other's back or whatever.
Microsoft helping OpenAI in a way, but at the same time being like, yeah, we just cost you $3 billion. Oops.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, but yeah, that was Microsoft's. Well, again, there's a whole plethora of like announcements there, probably a bit too technical for the show. And then we should try and wrap it up, but like Framer's announcements were really cool as well.
Yeah,
they've basically entered the world of vibe coding with what did they call it?
Workshop. I don't really like the name, but I really do like the tool that they showed. So essentially, you want to build any component that is more complex than normal components. Typically, you would have to do it with code and in React, but now you can just vibe code it. You give it a prompt. It gives you the code, but not just the code. It gives you the component. And wait for it, the most important part of this is it gives you the component with controls in the Framer UI.
As long as you prompt that though, right?
No, it automatically adds them. You can ask for more, but as you see here, it automatically added controls for all of that. And you can obviously like prompt other things. You can say change something or like advance it, whatever you want, and then it automatically updates everything. So you can just drag and drop it anywhere. I think this should become a standard in every no-code tool, like prompting components and then exposing the properties, to the UI, or like the code properties to the UI. So from the UI you can change them. Get ready for bloated websites.
Yeah.
Anything that, hundreds of lines of code for maybe the most simple, the simplest stuff out there. I didn't have access yesterday, so
okay, fine. No worries.
It wasn't working right now. Yeah, I didn't check before them, but I probably have access. So
yeah, crazy week, and God knows what's going to happen next week. God knows. But again, just to recap, like Google I/O, I'm like a kid in a candy store. That was just such a cool announcement, and just wish I had all the money in the world to be able to pay for that Ultra plan, $250 a month. Just a note on that though, my only thing, and I keep saying this, is data protection. Like, I don't mind using the data to improve the products, but I just don't want them using my data to sell. SEO, as we've already discussed, is not going to be there. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's looking like it might not be their main source of income. So they need to make money significantly somehow, and it's not going to be through 250 quid a month subscriptions to whatever. It's going to be through potentially selling that data, and that's the only thing that kicks me in the teeth. Do you know what I mean?
They probably will use our data, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Google.
Let's wrap it up there. You've got a thing to go to, and I'm getting hungry. So thanks so much for joining us this week. Let us know if there's anything we can improve. I've got a mic stand. We've got stream, whatever is going on. I even upgraded my cable, so it's 1080p. I want to try and get better, and I want to get more people to tune into these things. So I'd love some feedback. I'm all about the feedback.
We'll get it there. Well, thank you for the ones who tuned in and the ones who are watching.
Peace out.
Peace out.